I am the founder of Broken Crayons Still Color. I have two different reasons why I say I started Broken Crayons Still Color. One would be that I feel like my actual life purpose is to empower women, and the more personal reason would be because I am a victim of sexual abuse. 4 years ago, me and my best friend were having a conversation, and I ended up telling her that I was a survivor of sexual abuse, and she's my co-founder. Her name is Brittany Ewald. She lives in New York, and she actually told me she was also a victim of sexual abuse. So we started doing some research, and we found some pretty shocking numbers. I believe 1 in 5 women are sexually abused, and I think that it's a real taboo topic. Like, whenever someone hears a rape story or a sexual abuse story, it's kind of like they would rather shun it than speak about it. So I'm just trying to bring light to the actual topic. It started off just to help women who went through sexual abuse. And then I ended up working with youth at Job Corps and actually dealing with the women's shelters. And I was meeting a lot of women that were just physically abused. And then there's women that went through substance abuse and women that just went through emotional, mental abuse. So that's when I expanded the entire Broken Crayons to just empowering women. My end mission is I want to open a maternity home back home in Guinea, West Africa. That's where I'm originally from. But I want to say my mission here is to stop having women be so competitive towards each other, because we all deal with the same things. Have us come together more, speak about things that we go through that are taboo, vulnerability, sexual abuse, physical abuse, things like that. A lot of the times they're started by elder people and not really youth, so we have a hard time coming to them and talking to them about things that we might go through. So I decided to start these girl talks monthly, or actually every other month, where I bring topics that are difficult to actually speak about, and I make sure I get all the girls super comfortable. We drink wine, we hang out, we break the ice, and then we talk about these topics. So that'll be the first thing I want to say. Second thing that I want to say is that I'd like to touch on the fact that you don't have to be an elder or someone older to start a nonprofit. It's actually, to me, more efficient when you can relate to the person that's talking to you about it. I think a lot of the times media pins us against each other. Like, there can only be one Beyonce, and if Rihanna comes out, then it has to be a competition. And we get a lot more things done when we work together. I feel like a lot of these, whenever I do the girl talks and people come together, it always baffles me how much of a networking event it is. Like, because it's not networking for me. I've been in networking events, that different nonprofit throws, or that my peers might throw, things like that. I've attended multiple of those. It's more so, come, be comfortable, let's talk about topics that we usually don't speak to each other about unless we're very close friends. I think the one thing that I want people to walk away with is that we're not against each other, and when we work together, way more efficient. We get a lot more things done, and I just feel like it's easier. When I first started Broken Crayons Still Color, I tried to model the other nonprofits that empower women. I had a mentor that lives in California. She has a nonprofit called I Stand, which might be one of the biggest nonprofits in the United States against sexual abuse. And I wanted to model exactly what she did. So I remember I went to Job Corps one time, and I was dressed, I was super dressed up, and I went in there and I was talking to these young girls, and I was giving them a speech. And they were looking at me like, we do this once a month. Someone comes in here from a nonprofit and they talk to me. I don't really hear what you're saying. And that kind of woke me up, because what I ended up doing before the end of the speech was getting super comfortable and letting them know I relate to you just like, you relate to me. I like to listen to the music you like to listen to. I like to hang out just like you do. I have issues with guys just like you do, things like that. And once I got comfortable, the girls opened up. I still get emails from girls at Job Corps just asking me for advice on different things. So after that, I completely broke down all of how I was running Broken Crayons and decided to completely retract and start all over. We do monthly girl talks, and in between the girl talks, sometimes we'll do drives and things like that where we hand out feminine products to women. I'm expanding, so by December we'll have the complete website done and ways that you can contact us via then. But until then, you can always email bcscnonprofit@gmail.com, and that'll come directly to me. And whatever future events we have or drives, donations and things like that, I'll always respond. One message that I would leave the Atlanta community with is that I think that Atlanta has a big creative scene, probably one of the biggest creative scenes in the city that I lived in, and this is coming from someone that's lived in New York that has a huge, creative scene. I feel like if we were to work together, we'd get a lot of things done. And that's not even just women, that's just young creatives in general. If we were to use our talents towards helping, our whole city or our whole state or whatever the case may be, I think we'd get pretty far.